Greetings, Internet, and welcome back for another Oxleymations presentation. For today's video, if it wasn't evidenced by the title down below Old Jack over here, I have purchased another item. Yes, I know there are a bunch of you out there who are probably like, a few videos ago, didn't you say that you were a hoarder? And well, I did admit to having fallen into that a bit. But I have already started working on downsizing. I've sold a bunch of stuff already. So I figured allowing myself one or two small little purchases in the grand scheme of things is better now that I'm actually letting things go. And I just wanted to state real quick before we actually get into the unboxing, which, spoiler alert, if you see this box over here, that's what we're going to be digging into here in just a couple minutes. But I just wanted to say that I'm not one of those hoarders that's got like a strong personal attachment to a lot of the stuff. It's just I started doing the whole collecting thing, as evidenced by all the friggin' Ninja Turtles. If you go back in my channel, I'll put a link right up here. I actually had a series where I was going through and just talking about all of my Ninja Turtle figures and just, how I got them and all that kind of nonsense. But it started with action figures, and it basically continued with action figures, and then while I started, going after other nostalgic things from my childhood, like the Goosebumps books, tracking down my own Frankenstein's monster, Big Frank, fix me, and other things of that sort. And it just kind of slowly built, and by the time I realized how much stuff I actually had, I was sitting on a mound of, well, nostalgic nonsense. But anyway, like I said, I'm working on getting better about that. I have gotten to the point where I'm letting things go. So, yeah, baby steps. On that note, on to the unboxing. So just let me grab my samurai sword letter opener, which I'm going to need to cut the tape. And we'll put that over here where it's more easily accessible. So contained within this box, I wouldn't quite call this a grail, but this is another piece that I've been wanting to get for my collection for a long time. And again, as has become kind of a thing that I just say in a lot of these videos, it was out of my price range for quite some time. And finally, there was someone on Facebook Marketplace who had one listed for a reasonable price. And of course, again, as I usually say in these types of videos, contained within this box is a piece I've been looking for that is not in the best shape. He's not perfect, but he doesn't have to be, because his imperfections led him into my collection. I keep saying him, but it's a doll, basically. It's another ventriloquial figure. Contained within this box is one of the last ventriloquist figures that I'm aware of put out by the Horseman Doll Company, more commonly known for the figures of Willie Talk and Simon Says. And, well, if anyone watching, any of my viewers out there watching, know anything about the Horseman Dolls ventriloquist puppets, they had 4 different figures, as far as I'm aware. No, 5 different figures. They had, like I said, they had Willie Talk, they had Simon Says, they had Tessie Talk, which was basically she was literally basically a doll that just happened to have like the slot jaw and the string coming out the back of her neck, full plastic body, posable limbs, that kind of thing. And then they had, and then they had Mickey Mouse, which is a figure that I actually had for a short time. And then they had the contents of this box, which I'm going to leave that as a surprise. If you know the history of these dolls, and you know the dolls that they produced, you know who's in here. But for those who don't, you're about to be surprised. Now, one thing I will say is the seller, he said they don't usually do shipping, and I can kind of tell because when I picked up this box, it's especially light, and, well, if you listen closely when I shift it around, the puppets basically, literally, it sounds like they just stuck the doll in there and called it a day and taped up the box. It doesn't sound like he's got very much packing material, if any. So I want to shift this around as little as possible. As a matter of fact, I'm going to lay it back like this so that the figure is more than likely resting on its back. And, oh, of course, now my housemate's alarms are going off. But it's alright, we'll just keep rolling. Add to the authenticity of this Oxleymations presentation. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and just work on loosening and peeling all of this tape. My editing self can feel free to fast forward right about now.
And now we
can get the video back to normal speed. Unless I just jump cut my way here. Regardless. So, the box has now been opened. I'm going to kind of obscure this panel right here because under the tape, the part of the seller's address is still visible because I didn't Sharpie it out well enough. So we're just going to start with this flap, and I'm going to let y'all get the first view of our little friend here. That. Hopefully he's right side up. Any guesses who it is yet, folks? Top flap up. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead. See if I can. There we go. I can kind of see it in the ViewMaster, the viewfinder of the computer. Now I'm going to turn this around and get my own first look at him. Well, well. Alright. And just as I suspected, as I called it, and as you all just saw firsthand, not a single shred of packing material in this box. Just the puppet himself. But let's get you out of there, little buddy. And we'll put your box somewhere. That'll do. So yes, folks, as some of you may have guessed, and okay, thankfully he doesn't like reek like several of my other puppets, but he does have a bit of an aroma. And he was definitely owned by a smoker. Let's see, how well does the mouth work? The mouth still works fairly well. But anyway, for anyone in the audience who doesn't recognize this little dude, this is Mo Howard of the Three Stooges. And like I said before, he was made by the Horseman Doll Company. I believe this figure in question was produced in 1981. About, I want to say, 6 years after the passing of the one and only original Mo Howard. This poor dude's going to need some work. As you can see, he is pretty dirty, pretty grungy. could do with a bath. And like I said, he apparently came from the house of a smoker because he's kind of got that. If you've lived in the house with a smoker, you know when you leave the house for a while and you come back, he's got that kind of a smell. Thankfully, it's not strong, but it is in fact there. Now, he's one of the few headstick controlled ventriloquist figures that the Horseman Doll Company put out. The three were Mo, and then there was Simon Says, and Mickey Mouse. To my knowledge, those are the only three that came in this particular variety. He's got a hollow plastic body. He's got cloth arms with plastic hands. And he has cloth legs. And don't worry, folks, he's not missing his shoes. The Horseman Doll Company, again, to my knowledge, aside from Tessie Talk, never really, put shoes on their puppets. They all came with flesh tone legs, which had like a little black foot stuck on the end to make it look like socks, I guess, or like they were wearing shoes. And like I've said before, in my years of collecting, I've had Simon Says, I've had the Mickey Mouse puppet, which unfortunately I no longer have them, and I also have two Willy Talk puppets presently, and now, thanks to some person on Facebook Marketplace, I've got what I believe is the hardest to get of the three, hollow body head stick puppets, Mo Howard. Some citation may be needed there. I'm not sure if it's Mickey is the hardest to get or if it's Mo, but I'm pretty sure it's Mo. Because Mickey was exclusive through the Walt Disney Company. Like, you had to go to Walt Disney World to get him, I think. I could be wrong on that. If I'm wrong and any of you viewers out there happen to know that I'm wrong, please feel free to let me know. So, let's see here. Looks like I said initially, he is fairly dirty, and it looks like someone drew a pencil mustache on him at some point. See, right here, right up under his nose. And someone gave him bloodshot eyes. Don't know why they did that. But his paint looks fairly good, all things considered. He's only got a couple little dings and scratches here and there, spots of paint missing. And it looks... okay. That's going to be fun. When I was looking at the images of this thing on the Facebook listing, it looked like he had dirt inside his mouth, but now someone took a black Sharpie marker and knocked out a couple of his teeth. He looks like he's all original, from what I can tell. And the control for his mouth does still kind of work. I don't want to push it too far. Because as you can see, the rubber band isn't pulling back up as well as it's supposed to. Also, truth be told, I probably shouldn't have my hands just shoved in his back like that, because he is just a dirty puppet. Like you should talk. Yeah, my dirt's up here. Yours is all over. Yeah, well, you should just be glad they only made me. And for some reason, that's another thing I should bring up. Go ahead and close your mouth again. The Horseman Doll Company only ever made the Mo Howard puppet. There's no Larry Fine, there's no Curly, there's no Shemp. Only Mo. I don't understand it myself. Maybe it's so that little kids could have Mo calling them a knucklehead and all that kind of nonsense. But what do I know? Yeah, what do you know? Well, I know your mouth keeps sticking. Yeah, with that said, folks, I think I'm going to... well, here, I'll do a quick little overview of the rest of the puppet real quick. So he comes wearing his plaid shirt and pants. And, let's see, he's missing one button on his shirt. See, I always got this red one here, and then there's a buttonhole, but no button. Button, button. Who's got the button? Heck, I don't know. And I just realized something. This puppet kind of looks like Walter, like Jeff Dunham's Walter puppet, only he's got far more hair. He comes dressed in his suit. He's supposed to have a tie, but apparently someone ripped it off at some point. You can just about make out right there where it was originally attached. And let's see. Let's check the back here, because he's got a little tag that someone in the factory stuck on his back end when he was first produced. That gives a little more information on the puppet. And like I said, folks, I've never owned one of these before, so this is all new territory for me, basically. Okay, so initially I thought that the outfit was going to be just like the pants that were stuck on and an additional shirt plus the suit jacket, but no, the shirt and pants are one solid piece. Interesting. Also, apparently, they didn't see fit to give him sleeves on his little shirt here. So he's technically just wearing a white vest. Let's go ahead and pull my hand out of your back real quick. Let's get a look at you without some of your accoutrements. Oh, fun. I just got a look at the inside of his torso here, and oh, what the? Apparently, some little kid played with this guy outside. We've got what looks like either the remnants of a pricker bush pricker, or maybe dandelion thingy, just stuck on the inside of his jacket. But let's see. Like I was saying, he's got a little tag right here on his back end. All new materials, contents, polyurethane foam and cotton, Horseman Dolls Incorporated, P.O. Box 1390, Columbia, South Carolina. At least I think that's what SC stands for. 29202. Registered number. Registered number PA. I'm assuming either. It's definitely got to be Pennsylvania. Registered number Pennsylvania 1114 or 114. Sorry, Massachusetts T21. Ohio 3921. South Carolina Maine 13. Just reading numbers. I don't know what I'm doing. Let's see, what's written on the back of your head there, little fella? All right, copyright 1981, Horseman Maurer Productions, Horseman Dolls Incorporated, 4559. I'm trying to be as thorough as possible with this because I actually looked around YouTube, and aside from this one YouTube channel called Curly's Grandson, where it's literally the grandson of Curly Howard of the Three Stooges, I have not seen any footage of anyone actually like having a Mo Howard puppet on screen. So, like I said, I'm trying to be as thorough as possible so that I'm getting information out there for anyone watching who's interested in these puppets and, just has never actually seen one in real life. All right, so it appears we've got a little bit of damage to Mo's right arm here, because it seems that someone just kind of tried to tape it back on, and then sewed through the tape or something. That's interesting. And he's got the same exact hollow body as the Simon Says puppet and the Mickey Mouse Horseman puppet. Go ahead and continue to pull this down. Let's see. Oh, yep. You can very definitely much tell. Okay, so see what the fabric looks like on the outside there. And then get a look at what the fabric looks like on the inside. It's definitely a shade lighter than the color of the fabric on the outside. I know you've been through it, haven't you? Ooh. Ugh. Just gonna cover up your backside for the sake of modesty, because your clothes are riding down. And for whatever reason, the Horseman Doll Company decided to actually mold the torso here with a butt crack. But just so y'all can see why I'm going, ew. Look at all that gunk and grime that's just settled in down there over the last, let's see, 81, 91, 2001, 2011, 2021, for the last 43 years. You're getting to be an old man there, Mr. Howard. Yeah, and now you're touching a mostly naked old man. I'm not going to think too hard about what I just made you say. You better not, you weirdo. So we're just going to go ahead and pull his clothes back up. So I'm definitely going to be taking our new little buddy Mo here. Oh, wow. It definitely looks like some little kid had a picnic or something with him, or something, because look at all the staining on that outfit. You know what I'm going to do, folks? For my next video, because I just realized we're about 25 minutes in, and I'm going to leave most of this as is for the sake of posterity. I'm going to make another video where I actually clean up our little friend here, and I'm going to get him looking as good as I can. So, on behalf of myself and my new little buddy Mo Howard, we're going to just kind of cut this here. And I want to say a big thank you to each and every single one of you out there watching, I was supposed to say. It's been so long since I've done this outro that I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. Anyway, I do truly and greatly appreciate it. I would make the heart shape, but my other hand's inside this puppet. And if you like what you've seen here today, you know the drill. Please feel free to like, comment, subscribe. If you want to help out the channel in any way and help me continue to do silly nonsense like I'm currently doing, feel free to support me on Patreon, patreon.com/Oxleymations. I'm still kind of figuring out what to do with that, but as of this video, to kind of help out with people seeing that, that there is an impact they have with the channel, I'm going to put a Patreon roll at the very end. And as it continues to grow, I'll add more names to the list. And that's only for the paid tier. I'm going to state that right now. But with that said, on behalf of myself and Mo Howard, later y'all. Later y'all? The hell the heck is happening to me? Anyway, on behalf of us, later y'all. Don't be a stooge. Subscribe to the Oxleymations channel and the Patreon, if you can afford it. There we go. Now I'm looking at the camera. You certainly are. Why I oughta... Oh! Okay, anyway, later.